Have you heard a whole lot of conflicting advice about what is the best way to start your day? Well, that could be because there isn't necessarily a best way for everyone. But in this episode, we're going to dive into a couple of different ways to start your day and learn about what might be the best method for you.
Welcome to the Do More, Stress Less podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Hasselberger, a time management and productivity coach. In every episode, I give you actionable, practical tips to help you learn to use your time in a way that feels good to you every day. No more hustling, scrambling, or struggling to keep your head above water. So let's dive in, and soon enough, you'll be doing more and stressing less. Now, which should you eat first? The frog or the candy? Now, what the heck am I talking about? Well, eating the frog is the idea that you should start each day with the most onerous task and just get it out of the way. The idea is that if you have to eat a frog today, it's better to just eat it first thing in the morning versus fretting all day long about eating that frog and then still having to eat it at 6 p.m. When I phrase it like that, I bet you're thinking, well, obviously, of course, eating the frog first thing makes most sense. And for many, many people, eating the frog does make the most sense. It makes your day go a whole lot more smoothly. Once you've got that frog out of the way, it's just totally smooth sailing, right? But what if it isn't? What if your aversion to the frog is so strong that the only thing that can get you to eat that frog is that hard deadline at the end of the day? What if instead you start your day with candy? Surely you want the candy, right? I mean, that sounds good. The candy of your workload are those quick and easy tasks that you can get off your plate and feel good about. And some people need to prime that dopamine pump with the candy to build up the momentum that they require to eat that frog. For some, the frog goes down a little bit or a lot of bit easier if it's sugar coated. Just like Mary Poppins said, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. But there's a bit of danger when it comes to the candy. It's small, there's a lot of it, and it's easy to just keep going back for more. So if you need that candy to lay the groundwork for a successful day by starting with that candy, you might want to put some boundaries around it. Perhaps you could think of it as a time limited, all you can eat buffet. You get an hour to eat all the candy, AKA do as many of the small tasks that prime that dopamine pump as possible that you can. Then you move on to the bigger stuff, the scarier stuff, the frogs. So, which is better, to eat the candy first or the frog first? Well, it's not up to me to decide for you. It's up to you to experiment with what works better for you. And at this point, you might be thinking, well, I start the day with email and Slack. What do you think of that? And here's what I think. Don't do that. Email and Slack are worse options than the frog or the candy. Email and Slack are other people's priorities. Sometimes they align with your own priorities, but they might just throw you off course for the entire day. And they're endless. They just keep coming. So, whatever you choose, frog or candy, do that in your first non meeting work hour of your day and then get to messages. Now, what do I mean by the non meeting work hour? I mean, don't get up earlier to make this happen, right? Don't start with, if you're starting your day at 9 a.m., don't get up even earlier than that to be able to do the candy or the frog. Just choose your first non meeting work hour of the day. I promise you that whether you answer folks back at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. will not make a lick of difference to them, but you will get so much done in that first hour that it'll make the world of difference to your day and to you and to your stress. So I want you to try it out and I want you to let me know. Are you team frog or are you team candy? What works best for you? And that's a wrap on today's episode of the Do More, Stress Less podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with somebody who could use a little less stress in their life. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're excited to take action or you need a little extra support, check out the free resources available on my website or schedule a free consultation call with me. You can do both of these at alexishasselberger.com. See you next time.